New York Giants and a quarterback that hasn't played in a long time in Tommy DeVito. Started.
Hey guys. Yeah, I think it should, and I think just in general, kind of getting a week to reset after a 4-game losing streak should help. I think they're going to be getting a little healthier, and I think that they had a rough go of it going into the bye week, but they were playing some real good teams, and coming out of the bye, they'll be playing some really bad teams. To be honest with you, so I think that should help, and we'll see if the Bucs can get back on track here. Because these are two teams that both haven't won in over a month, so someone's got to win.
When you look at what the Atlanta Falcons looked like this past Sunday and the two teams' schedules moving forward, is it crazy to think the Bucs could still win this division? Because I think they can.
I don't think it's crazy at all, and I do kind of. I sat back and kind of wondered yesterday whether it's because I didn't watch the Bucs play this weekend, but I'm coming into this week thinking that they've got a real good shot. I think, they're technically a game and a half back. They're, the Falcons are 6-5, Bucs are 4-6. Falcons, I believe, are on a bye this week.
They are.
So if the Bucs win, there'll be a game back, but with the tiebreaker, it's 2 games. But even still, I know the Falcons have. I know the Vikings, the Commanders. I know they have one other tough game in there. That's going to be a difficult one for them. And the Bucs really kind of have it easy. I think it might actually be the Chargers. The Bucs do play.
Chargers and Vikings are next.
Yeah, and so I think there is a path for the Bucs to get back in this thing, which is crazy to think. But I haven't been impressed with the Falcons in the last couple weeks, especially in that game against the Broncos. So, we'll see. If they turn it around again and save their season, get to the playoffs, and win the division again, you kind of will go into next year thinking, all right, can we just avoid this? Can we avoid this whole, mid-season slump and having to turn around every year?
You and everyone over at Pewter Report, you did a roundtable yesterday, and the question was, what's the Bucs trap game down the stretch outside of that Chargers game, which I don't think anyone looks at as a trap game. So I'll ask you, Bailey, what's your opinion on the biggest opportunity for a trap game down the stretch?
I went a little, I don't know, I went a little off the script here, and I went with that home game in Week 17 against the Panthers. I do believe the Bucs will come out of the bye week, pretty hot. I think they'll beat the Giants. They'll beat the Panthers on the road on the first weekend in December. But I think that rematch might end up being one that, you kind of get into a spot where you can't overlook a team that you just beat a few weeks earlier. You've got Dave Canales looking for a little bit of a revenge game in his return to Tampa, knows Todd Bowles well, knows the defense well. And it'll be one of those where I think the Bucs will be in a spot potentially by then to almost, win the next 2 games and get in, or at least give themselves a good shot. And you just kind of are afraid that to set up that do-or-die Week 18 game, they kind of fall short the way they did last year in Week 17.
Given the struggles defensively, do you think if they were to get to sizable leads against teams like the Giants, like the Panthers, like the Raiders, they might try some different and unique things to try to figure out what they can do a little bit better defensively? And I have one actually that came to mind last night, and it sounds crazy, but could potentially, on obvious passing downs, the answer at middle linebacker be Mike Edwards?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's definitely an opportunity to try some different things because it can't really get worse than what it's been.
Yeah.
KJ Britt has been struggling at linebacker especially, and I do think they'll run some more dime. They have more opportunity to run dime defense with the reintroduction of Mike Edwards. So, yeah, I don't think it's crazy. I think that if you could take a linebacker off the field and get another DB out there, it's not the wildest thing to consider because this is it's probably, there's been a lot of weak points on this defense, but I think that middle linebacker spot has been one of the bigger struggles over the last, several weeks.
Bailey, I'm looking at your Twitter, and I saw you have one pin. I don't know how I've never seen this. You have one pin at the top from 2017. Keep in mind that year, 2017. He said, pretty cool that the Bucs will get to win Super Bowl 55 in their own stadium. Called that 3 years before that ever happened. You would expect that tweet to go viral. Nobody picked up on that, Bailey.
Yeah, it was weird because at the time for me, for what it felt like at the time, it did go a little bit, viral. Because some people picked up on it. I had a bunch of strangers saying weird things to me, and I had what if I don't know? It's the opposite of the cold takes one. Is it? they already knew that one account. They picked up on it, but yeah, it didn't pick up the traction that maybe it should have. But I mean, to be fair to that, it was one of those things where the Bucs or the NFL announced that Super Bowl 55 would be in Tampa, so I just threw a tweet up there.
No, don't say that.
The Bucs are gonna win.
Don't say that.
Right,
You predicted it.
I didn't say that.
You predicted this thing.
I knew Tom Brady was going to come to the Bucs in 2020 and do it, but
Yes.
I made no money off of it. Apparently.
Apparently.
Do the Bucs need to make the playoffs for Todd Bowles to save his job, or does 9 wins and not quite getting in based off all the injuries and stuff like that still give him another chance?
That's where I think it's a little bit of a gray area. That's a great question because I think the whole idea was, they needed to show some improvement this year, and that could mean, I think if they go 10-7 and just barely miss out on the playoffs, I think his job is safe. They improved 1 win, and just given the landscape in the NFC, they weren't able to make it. But 9-8 again, but not making the playoffs technically is an improvement. I don't know if they'll give him the crutch of the injuries, whether that's fair or not is open for debate. But that's where I think you got to get into a gray area where it might be something similar to, all right, we don't want to lose in Jameis' second year. We don't want to lose Dirk Cutter. We want to get some continuity here. They don't want to lose Liam Cohen. So if they're going to have to make a move to promote him to head coach, they might have to do that, even at 9-8.
Make sure you check out all the work from Bailey Adams and everyone over at Pewter Report, at Pewter Report, pewterreport.com. And to see that pinned tweet from 2017, go to at BaileyJAdams22. I'm going to retweet it right now, Bailey. We're going to get it going again. Everyone retweet it, okay? We're going to get that thing going viral years later. Thank you, Bailey. We'll catch up with you later.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Bailey.
One thing I also do want to catch you up all on is, what's happening this week? What's getting going again? We are back, baby. Tampa Bay Downs is back in action. The season is starting.
What's today, Aaron?
It's today. I do with vacation and everything. Oh, my gosh. I might go to the Downs today.
It's also Wednesday today, right?
Wednesday. What about it?
Isn't it free on Wednesday?
It's free on Wednesday. I knew that, but I was like, I wonder where you were going with that.
Sorry.